Yeah, no, that's a great book. Very, very informative book. The Great Cholesterol Con by Dr. Malcolm Kendrick. He's a Scottish doctor. It's well worth taking a read of that book if you're concerned about your cholesterol. From Mount Mellick, Mary Teresa. Hiya, Mary Teresa from Mount Mellick. Okay. Having a great success with my kid's stomach issues following the pitta diet to reduce it and saw results within 2 days. He's only 6, so it's really comforting to see he no longer has much pain. Well, Jennifer, that's fantastic. Just a little bit of knowledge can go a long way. So obviously he had some pitta issues there, and you just introduced the cooling foods and things like that, and then it has an immediate effect. So that's very nice to hear. So I think we're without doctors altogether this evening. Dr. Rajvinder is gone. Dr. Brennan hasn't come on. Maybe he's forgotten about it. Dr. Naheed is in India. Okay. Yeah, some of these questions I can't answer. It's better really getting these. A question for Dr. Rajvinder. How do you take sesame oil up your nose? Well, I can answer that one. Yeah, just put a drop on your finger, on your little finger, or a few drops. Put it in the nostril, put it in the other nostril. Hold your nose and breathe back in. Just breathe back in. And if you're the nasal oil we have has a dispenser or a dropper, you can actually squirt it up your nose, and then just hold your nose and inhale back in. And then if it produces phlegm, just spit the phlegm out, you know. But yeah, so that's how you take sesame oil up your nose. And you can just rub it into the nose as well. And then always do the inhale to get it back up in there. But actually, better than sesame oil is the MP16 oil. It's got about 16 different herbs in it. And I was talking to someone in the UK during the week, and they had a runny eye, and they started taking the MP16, and it just disappeared. It just went away. So they say it's good for everything above the neck, and I've seen it work very well with headaches and tension in the head and all that. MP16 is not out of stock. It's back in stock. So it's but it's the one with the dropper. I didn't get the one with the dispenser. I have a shipment coming in from India, the white one with the dispenser and the refills. So obviously we don't want to be using too much plastic. So once you buy the dispenser once, and then just get the 30 ml refills to keep filling up the bottle. But the one I have at the moment I got from Holland, and that's with the dropper. But you know, it's just as good. It's the same oil. It's just a different way of dispensing it, you know. So yeah, but it's in stock. It's on the website. I was out of a lot of things. MP4 is back in, or MA4 is back in stock, and the MP16 is back in stock as well. So there's Raj to everyone, but I presume that's not our Rajvinder. 2 minutes minimum each eye, so 4 to 5 minutes massage. Oh yeah, that was the question about the eyes. Yeah. Okay. So. Okay, what I think we'll do is we'll start with the video, and then the doctors can join in. Then I'll give Dr. Brennan a ring and just see if there's something going on with him. There's 2 Rajes here, so I'm not too sure if one of them is Dr. Rajvinder. Let me just see. Hey Raj, is that Dr. Rajvinder or a different Raj?
Yeah, I just had to use my phone, so it's a different name.
You're confusing me there. You're confusing me. I picked the right Raj, thankfully. There's 2 Rajes there, but anyway, so welcome back. So that seems a bit better. But there's a lot of questions there, Rajvinder. What's the benefits of oil up the nose? It's good for keeping this whole area clean, and it's very good for fighting infection. That's why it was one of the recommendations by the Indian government during COVID, because that's how COVID gets in. It can get in through your eyes and through your mouth, but predominantly your nose, and that's where it multiplies in there. And that's actually why they think you can still pass on the virus even if you've been vaccinated, because your body's immunity can fight it inside, but it can still be here in your nose, and then you're breathing it out. So they're not sure. They think you can still pass on the virus even if you have been vaccinated. That's why you still have to be careful. But that the oil in there, the nose is the gateway to the brain, you know, so keeping that area nice and clean and healthy is very, very important. So that's what MP16 does. And they say the herbs that are in it are, as I say, good for everything above the head. So I've seen it work very well with sinuses, with headaches, with congestion, all of those things. And it's the one thing I do every day is in the morning time is put MP16 and oil up my nose. And you feel great when you do it as well, because it's a little stingy, just a tiny little bit. Now, not very much. So it gets rid of that kapha out of your system in the morning time, you know. You could use anu oil. I'm not sure what that is.
Yes, you can use anu oil. Yeah, it's Indian version of MP16.
Okay, it's the same thing, is it? Okay,
Yeah, it's a different
okay,
company.
right. Yeah, but these are traditional mixtures, so in a lot of cases they're the same. They're the same thing. We tend to do Maharishi Ayurveda products because they're all tested for the European market, and they're made in a special factory that's an export only factory, and we have a certification for all of them just to show there's no contaminants in them like lead and mercury and pesticides and all those things, you know. So that's why we do the Maharishi Ayurveda one. MP16 is not expensive anyway. It's quite a cheap oil. I just seen the link you sent me. Sorry if I confused you. I'm not so sure what that's about. So you have confused me. But anyway, would you have a recipe for prostatitis, inflammation and dry eyes? Dr. Raj, you're gone again.
Because on the phone, I can't do the video and I can't do the chats together. So it's just.
Oh, you have to switch one or the other. Well, sure, I'll read the chats to you. Do you have a recipe for dry eyes?
What do you mean recipe? To the
Something you
food?
can put on the eyes for prostatitis,
That's
inflammation and dry eyes.
Yeah, you start with the ghee massage and see how that goes. And then there are herbs like amla is a wonderful herb for the eyes. So MA1 amla berry preparation will be good for eyes. So if it's an ongoing condition, you might have to consider lutein or it's called Maca Shield, some of the eye supplements. So that
Okay,
what you,
okay.
yeah.
So Dr. Brandon is here, so I'll just unmute him. Hi, Don.
I know.
Hey, how you doing?
Oh, thanks.
We thought you'd forgotten about us.
I nearly did. I thought I had the night off.
No night off, Don.
Got a shop banana reminded me
Yeah, I'll let you know when you have a night off, okay?
2 minutes ago.
Yeah, Dr. Rajvinder is having some Wi-Fi problems, so she's on her phone at the moment, you know. Someone asked about kitchery. So actually, Dr. Rajvinder is going to be doing another cookery course. I'm sure a lot of you were on the first cookery course, but we're doing another one at the end of February. But before we do that, we're going to do a replay of cookery course 1. And I think we did kitchery on that course, Rajvinder, didn't you?
No.
No, did you not? I thought we did it. Yeah. Okay. Well, we can do. Yeah. Okay. But kitchery is just rice and dal mixed together, you know. And
Somebody wrote the recipe there anyway. So.
Oh, somebody wrote the recipe there anyway. But we'll be doing a replay of Dr. Rajvinder's cookery course 1. So look out for the emails about that. And absolutely, loads of you are signing up for Dr. Brennan's webinar, lifestyle webinar on the 10th of February. So that promises to be a great webinar. If you haven't heard about that, just look at your emails because we did a little video on it and all the details about that are on that as well. I think we need to get started. Don, are you happy to go ahead or do you want to say something?
Poor Vegan, of all complaints, we have to sort this one out. The man has piles. And recovering from COVID, God love you, but great to hear you're recovering. With the hemorrhoids, the best thing is the herbal MA 242.
247, Don.
But is it available now?
247, I have it. Yeah, I got
brilliant.
it. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh, that's better again. That's great. So to take that, maybe initially 2 twice daily and then coming down to 1 twice daily after a week. And it usually does it. You're wise though, you have to keep the motions going. And if you have any difficulty with passing bowel motion, take the triphala as well at night. As many tablets as that's MA 505, as many tablets as you need to sort that out. So go ahead, Noel, with the
okay, yeah. So MA247, you just use the search bar on the website ayurveda.ie, and I do have some in stock actually because it's a popular enough product. So yeah, I think we'll go ahead and we'll start our 5th lesson. Maybe Dr. Rajvinder will sort out her Wi-Fi.
Yeah, you can.
You can see. Okay. So, okay, Don, you just want to say a few things. I see the doctors are answering loads of your questions anyway. So, and I see there's a huge amount of questions, but I know people are going to be asking about Panchakarma itself and where you can do it. There is one great clinic in the UK, and that's in a place called Skelmersdale outside of Liverpool, the Maharishi Ayurveda Panchakarma Centre. I don't know if they're operating at the moment. I have a feeling.
They are.
Oh, are they? Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, Don. Thanks for that. I've done panchakarma there on several occasions. It's been a few years now since I did it, but the technicians there are absolutely fantastic. They're trained in Maharishi Ayurveda, and they're just unbelievable technicians, and they really, really know what they're doing. And you really need good people guiding you when you're doing panchakarma. I think there may be a centre down in Rendlesham as well. And I'm sure you can probably do panchakarma in London, maybe Ayurveda Pura in London. And then you could just check in your locality if there's an Ayurveda centre, but just make sure the person is well trained in Ayurveda, and really it should be done under the supervision of a doctor. Like anytime we've done it in Ireland, it's always been under Dr. Brennan's guidance or Dr. Rajvinder's guidance. The other option is to go to India, but that's obviously not an option now. Myself and Dr. Brennan were in Kerala a few years back. We did, if you're going to go to India, you want to take at least 21 days, even longer if you can. But, and if you get a chance to do that in your lifetime, a 21-day panchakarma treatment in India down in Kerala, it's absolute heaven. It's just, you go into a different world after about a week. Your brain just stops all the noise and nonsense and anxiety, and it's just fantastic. And you have a lovely, lovely routine. And that slide that Karen Pirrick showed at the end, there's just, if you do what's in that, there's just a wealth of knowledge in that. You know, early to bed, early to rise, we all know that, and do the Abhyanga, like you're like doing a mini panchakarma yourself anyway, you know. So there's just huge information in that. There's nowhere in Ireland at the moment that I'm aware of, I may be wrong, I'm always open to being wrong, that you can do panchakarma. And I would advise, if you ever do panchakarma, make sure you do it in a residential setting. Don't be going home to your house at night time and all the distractions that are there. Do it in a residential setting. I'm going to share my screen towards the end of the class, so just remind me to do that. We have a beautiful brochure on Rasayanas. I'm going to show you where you can download that brochure. And so that's it. Dr. Brennan and Dr. Rajvinder, or maybe Dr. Rajvinder is muted. I'll just try find her.
Well, there are a number of questions about COVID vaccine. Radhika, yours is a very interesting question. I see you have it down twice now. With an immunoglobulin A deficiency. So immunoglobulin A deficiency is a very common thing. And commonly people don't even know they have it, but a proportion do get infection. Immunoglobulin A is in mucous membranes lining the respiratory system and the gut. So it's specific to protect against incoming viruses in that area. So it's a situation where perhaps you might be more advised to take all the necessary precautions, including the vaccine, if you want to go that way. Just inform your medical doctor that you do have that, but I think his advice is going to be, you know, the vaccine is something to take. When you take a vaccine, what you increase naturally is immunoglobulin M initially, and then that is the initial defense forces, and subsequently over the next couple of weeks you produce immunoglobulin G, and they produce then the antibodies that will destroy the antigen or the virus. So it's not that the vaccine is trying to provoke specifically immunoglobulin A, though that will or can be produced from immunoglobulin M, but maybe not for you. But anyway, just say it to your doctor, and then I think he'll advise the vaccine. And what should you do to boost your immunity, Antonella? Well, I think you're doing the best thing, taking the Amrit Kailash, but get a good night's sleep, because that increases your immunity. And of course, you know, your general good diet and other strategies. It's rather amazing that we're not being advised in terms of the things that we could do to increase our immunity, like 8 hours sleep, like the avoiding stress, like doing TM, like having a good diet. These all help your immunity, and the stronger your immunity, the better the results of the vaccine. And finally, can taking herbs mitigate the need for a vaccine? There's no research. You know, I think ultimately, yes, if we all were using Ayurveda from birth, we may then not need any other sort of interventions, because we'd have such resistance as not to get infections. But we live in a very dubious, difficult world, and so we do become vulnerable. So we can't say not to take medicines or the medical approach. On the contrary, what we do is to supplement And the more we do take care of our health, the less we actually would need the medicines. But in this case, you have to think of your own vulnerability. You have to weigh up your options, think if you want a vaccine or not.
Yeah, I think that's a great point, Don. You do have to weigh up your own level of risk. So you decide for yourself if you feel that you're at risk, if you feel it's worth taking it, if you feel it's not worth taking it. Like I personally would, I don't want to have to take a vaccine. I'm not afraid to say that, and I feel my immunity will be strong enough if I get COVID. Several members of my family have got it, and they've gotten over it. My parents are in their 90s, and I'm kind of keen for them to take it because, you know, I feel that they're in a different risk level than I am, and so everybody weighs it up for themselves, you know, and decides what they need to do, and everybody can look into the research on it and then make a decision on the thing themselves, you know.
Just to
Rajvinder, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can. I'm gonna go in the other room and see if it works there. Yeah, I can
Great.
hear though.
Great. Just a short one. Where are these videos filmed? I suspect they're filmed in Holland, where there's a center, and that'd be a guess, though.
Oh, I think it definitely is Holland, Don. I recognize the room, you know. I think it's in Maharishi's house in Flowdrop, I think.
Yeah, quite likely. Quite likely.
Yeah. What year? I'm not too sure. What year do you think? Keith Wallace looks very good there, but
you're going back, I'd say 7-10 years at a guess.
Yeah.
Zara TM Center. Well, just go online, tm-UK if you're in the UK, tm-ireland.org. That'll bring up the information you need. And the other quick one, no. Those are the quick ones. Will I comment on leaky gut then? That's Mary's question.
Yeah, well, Rajvinder's having a lot of problems, Don. So I suppose fire ahead there, and we'll get.
I think I should be a bit better now, but yeah, go ahead, Dr. Bryan. I will comment.
Okay, great. So it's very, very interesting that Ayurveda sees the digestive system as the core, the most significant really for good health, and has a very profound impact on all the other systems of the body and all the other metabolisms. So it's now happening that medicine is starting to catch up in recognizing the significance of the microbiome. If you have really good bacteria, the absolute millions and millions of bacteria in your gut do most of your digestion for you. They care for and maintain a very good lining of the gut so that what you don't want to get through does not manage to get through. 80% of your immune system will reside in your gut to prevent anything getting through and protect you. But when we don't have a good microbiome, the membrane in the gut gets porous, holes. And this is the leaky gut, where molecules start to get through. And this then can cause your immune system great problems and can be a cause of autoimmune diseases. So somebody's asking about psoriasis, for example. Well, obviously, we have to start with a really good digestive system. So the best...
There are very good herbs there for leaky gut, like we have Bilwa. Bilwa is a wonderful herb. Slippery alum is another good one. And then,
marshmallow root.
Marshmallow root. And MA3174 is a nice preparation, but including
what was the last one?
3174.
Okay.
And the resistant starch, I would recommend people to eat plantain. A lot of recipes you can do around plantain. So leaky gut could be.
Is there another name for plantain?
It's like a green banana.
Yeah.
Because of the resistant starch in it. So resistant starch are very helpful for leaky gut and all. So you just need to change your diet and lifestyle a bit, and herbs, you can cure it.
Stress punctures your lining, so do your TM, and also chemicals, whether they be in processed foods or whether they be medicines, particularly antacid, the proton pump inhibitors, the antibiotics, these are not helpful for your gut. You need to rehabilitate your gut if you've needed to take courses of medicines.
Rowena says that she thinks it was recorded in Bad Ems, and I was just thinking that could be possible, Don, because Karen Pirrick works in Bad Ems, doesn't she?
She does indeed. Yeah.
So they have very similar furniture to the place in Holland, you know.
Yeah.
But it could be Bad Ems. Yeah, actually that's another great clinic in Bad Ems, and Bad Ems is a very famous place in Germany, a very famous spa town, and there's a big Maharishi Ayurveda clinic there as well. So that's another option for doing Panchakarma if you want to stay in Europe.
So so
Hair oil, looking for it. Sorry, I just answered
Good.
that. It's a Vata hair oil for the hair growth. I think Tamara mentioned she's getting very good results.
Great.
So Vata hair oil.
Pleural plaques in the lung, are they cleared by Ayurveda, Stephanie? So, pleural plaques are like scars in the lung. And definitely, I think Ayurveda will be very helpful, certainly in mitigating symptoms around that. But those would be more difficult in long term in removal, and I think might require for their actual removal things like Panchakarma and so on. But I think that the consequences of them can be ameliorated by the use of Ayurveda. And the recommendations for psoriasis, I think the digestion, avoid stress. Often psoriasis is also provoked by stress. So all the stress reduction mechanisms, the digestive mechanisms, it's a Panchakarma is a strategy that will probably be needed for psoriasis. It can be a little difficult one because kapha is involved. That can make it more difficult. And there is herbals, like there's the radiant skin herbal that you could be using.
You can do a powder preparation. You can get good results, but it takes time. You have to be patient around it. You need a lot of application of oils like skin soother oil or some of the other pitta oil. So that way you can, a lot of work around your diet for the psoriasis.
What powder were you thinking of?
Well, there are a lot of preparation for livers like guruchi and yeah. So
okay, yeah. So yeah. Go ahead, Raj.
Manula is asking for migraine, like her daughter is having a big problem. So migraine is a very kind of a pitta vata problem, mainly pitta, acid in the system, and it could be hormonal as well. Around the periods, it could get worse. So I think you better consider a consultation for the detailed kind of assessment, and then according to that, there will be diet and herbs planned for her. But you can manage it. It could be managed better, yeah.
What about alcohol in moderation from Alpha? Just to say, alcohol will definitely increase pitta, so that's a consideration. You don't want to take much or any if you have any pitta issues, or if you're very strong pitta. It also weakens ojas, and so Brian O'Donoghue again was asking what's the difference between rasa and ojas. Well, rasa is just the nutrient fluid from digestion, and ojas is a very, very, very fine product of the subsequent metabolisms that really gives strength and immunity. So alcohol in moderation, it's good for the social occasion. The important thing is, according to Ayurveda, the people you drink with. So make it good company.
Absolutely. And we don't live a harsh life. Like, I mean, the purpose of life is to enjoy yourself, you know, so everything in moderation. If you want to go out and, you know, go out and listen to some music, we don't have to be in bed at 10 o'clock every single night of our lives, you know. You want to go out, listen to some music with some friends and have a few drinks. I don't see any problem with that whatsoever, but it's a matter of overindulgence where you're waking up the next day feeling sick and not able to do things. Then there's definitely a problem there. But life is here to enjoy, so we don't be. And Karen Pirik even said it. She didn't say go out and drink. She said if you have a big heavy meal, but you know, in the same way. So, and it being in the company of nice people and having that must have an effect on ojas as well, Don. Does it not? Good company and fun and things like that.
Oh, totally. And for pitta people, they need plenty of fun. And there were the tradition of the tonic wines, you know, in the monasteries. Actually, it is a tradition within Ayurveda that it's a way of preserving the herbs. So there's what are called shavas that are actually slightly alcohol preparations. They're very tasty too. So another question was from Nita, as a celiac, what sort of diet would be required? Well, Nita, I think all the issues about digestion that were discussed in the first couple of tapes are really good. And then allergies tend to be kapha, and kapha wheat is not a good one for kapha. So it may be that the kapha diet might be more suitable for you. But again, that's something for a consultation before we could be absolute about that. But worth a consideration in a trial.
Sorry, I'm scrolling the questions and just
Yeah,
applying
good
some
for
of the
you.
first.
Dan, Amrit Kailash, 4 and 5 every day. That's the counsel of perfection if you can do it. Great for the immunity. And Gita, uveitis takes immunosuppressants. Well, Gita, the situation here is you would want to continue taking the immunosuppressants, but you could add in the Ayurvedic suggestions and lifestyle and dietary and start to create better health. Possibly it would require to reduce pitta because it's an inflammatory process, but that situation then might over time allow you to be able to wean off the immunosuppressants.
Are you back with us, Dr. Rajvinder?
Yes,
She's
I am.
way there. She's answering questions on the chat line.
Oh, okay, very good.
Yeah, I just was reading a message from Narinder. She said two people passed. They were very close to them. So very deep condolences. Very sorry to hear that.
Oh dear, oh dear, dear. So that's
because of the COVID.
Yeah.
Somebody's asking, can you get fresh guduchi? In Ireland, we can't. We only have guduchi powder. But you can get dry roots, I guess, online. But fresh one is difficult.
And need to.
If you go to India, you can try to grow it. Bring some stems and try to grow. Sorry, Dr.
Need to ask about bags under her eyes. Probably a thing of rasa and digestion again. Probably a thing of kapha. So have you any cosmetics secrets, Raj, for bags under the eye?
Could be a lot of different reasons for that. Depends on why are you getting. Is it your kidney functions related? Is it your bowel movement? Is it your low iron? So you need to kind of, are you stressed? So just, or you can use a good oil, like even the ghee or coconut oil, before you go to bed, massage it and use chamomile tea bags just to kind of for a warm fermentation. So just to apply some heat. So you need to do a lymphatic drainage massage. So around the eyes or on the face even. So you can try that. And the herb Punarnava is very good to kind of increase the lymphatic functions and diuretic functions on the kidney, and it's a tonic for women. So you can try that.
Great.
And there's questions about Amrit Kailash. Is M4 and M5 better than aspirin as antiplatelet aggregation? What I'd suggest there is turmeric with a little bit of pepper. Add to your diet every day, because turmeric does have anti-platelet effects. And is it necessary to take both M4 or M5? In that situation, if it's more physical, the issues, take the paste M4. If it's more mind, that the mind gets a little overwrought, then the tablets M5. Otherwise, it's ideal to take both, even if you took one in the morning and the other in the evening or something like that, if you can't afford to pay for both because they're expensive enough.
Yeah.
Somebody was saying they switch to Chyawanprash. Should they switch back to Amrit Kailash or Chyawanprash? What would you say?
Say that again, right? Sorry.
Does someone switch from Amrit Kailash to Chyawanprash? Are they better to stick with Amrit Kailash, or they both are kind of good enough?
I think the Amrit Kailash is going to be more
broad spectrum.
found in the production of OJS, a bit more general. Chyawanprash will be more in relation to the lungs, have a bit more effect. So in COVID times, it's a good idea to have the Chyawanprash as well.
And Chyawanprash is a lot less expensive than Amrit Kailash. Like as Karen Pirrick said in there, I think she said 21 pounds of fruit and herbs goes to make 1 pound of Amrit Kailash. So, I mean, it's not the cheapest of herbals. So, and Chyawanprash is a more general product. And I think it's about half the price of Amrit Kailash. So it also depends on your financial situation as well. So you'd have to take that into account. Krishna asked about rheumatoid arthritis. We did a very good webinar on arthritis, Krishna. You can rent it on our website. We have quite a few webinars up there that people can rent, and rheumatoid arthritis was covered in depth in there, you know. So we're getting very close to the end. Sorry, Dr. Brennan, I cut you off there. You were about to.
Just love Atika's response, because people were talking about craving. He said he was craving sweet food the week prior to last, not his normal behavior. He followed the advice, eating something bitter to satisfy pitta imbalance, wild rocket leaves, as part of his twice daily meal. After 2 days, he no longer craved it. Went to get coffee, saw an array of pastries, felt no temptation at all. Yes, yes.
I'm just going to share my screen, Dr. Brennan, but I just want to pull up something on the website, but you can just keep answering questions there until I get this ready, you know.
I'm going to take a question from Albina. The pain between jaw and ear. MA634 oil is very good. So massage on the jaw and massage behind the ear. So inhalation oil, MA634. It will be immediately to relieve the pain. And you can do some oil pulling. So hold the oil in your mouth and then just hold it for 2 minutes at least.
Okay, so people should be looking at the Ayurveda website there at the moment. Is that what you're seeing, Don?
I'm seeing the website now.
Okay. So there is the link for our new course that starts in February the 16th. So that's on the home page of the website. That's a brand new course with our 3 doctors. And it's a great follow-up to this course that you're doing. And we go much more in depth into Vata, Pitta, Kapha, and a lot of new information there. So everybody should start registering for that. Again, it's free. It's 6 lessons long, Tuesdays and Thursdays for 3 weeks. But it's not the repeat of this course. It's a brand new course. So on our website, ayurveda.ie, you're all familiar with it at this stage. Go over to brochures, okay, and click on that. And then my internet's probably a little slow because I'm on Zoom, but then down here, there's a brochure on Rasayanas. So you can download that brochure, and it explains all about the different Maharishi Ayurveda Rasayanas. And one other brochure you should definitely download is the Ayurveda Diet and Nutrition brochure, because that goes into the doshas in a big way, you know. So this Rasayana brochure will come up now, but you can actually download it to you can just press download, but it just talks about all the ingredients that are in MA4 and MA5, and they're not the only Rasayanas. There's lots of other Rasayanas in there as well. So it's a very beautiful brochure, and it goes very much in depth into all of those things, you know. So it's just, as I say, it's just under brochures. Sorry, jumping around the place. It's just under brochures here, okay? And then if you want to do the body type test and do Vata, Pitta, Kapha, you don't just go under Ayurveda there. And if you want to book the Dr. Brennan, I'll just go to the home. Just go to the home screen, because a consultation is a great thing for anybody to have. You know, you can contact Dr. Rajvinder by phone, and you can book Dr. Brennan and Dr. Naheed by just clicking on bookings there, and their calendar comes up. And Rajvinder is just Rajvinder at ayurveda.ie for people who want to create a booking with her. So I'll just stop that share. Okay, so I just wanted to show you that so you could get that Rasayana brochure, you know. So anyway.
There was a question on nuts. Nuts don't necessarily cause free radicals, but they're better to soak them overnight in water to make them more digestible.
It's oxidized, so not too old ones. Maybe 3 months maximum older. Yeah.
Good. Yeah. Good point. Helicobacter pylorus, H. pylorus. Another question on that, which generally cause acidity and heartburn and all of that. Well, it's a digestive problem, isn't it? You have to strengthen digestion, because how else did the bacteria get into the stomach to cause the problem? So you want to strengthen the digestion there. And it might be just a weak digestion. So it's hard to say in a chat line.
Black seeds are good for that. So start eating black seeds in your diet instead of cumin.
Cumin?
Instead of cumin, the black seed, Nigella.
Nigella. Yeah. And the TM is different from other meditations. It's a sort of unique meditation which involves absolutely no attention or concentration. It's very simple, very natural, and is the most widely researched to show the best health benefits or other meditations won't reduce blood pressure or final events from cardiovascular disease, TM definitely has been shown and proven to. So worth looking at, finding out about.
Yeah, maybe we'll do an introductory talk, on an online introductory talk on TM for people, and then you can go and find your local TM center. But it's not that we criticize any other techniques. I mean, it's just myself and Dr. Brennan happen to have learned transcendental meditation many years ago, and we found it very good. But if you're doing another technique and you find it good, then that's fantastic. And when Dr. Brennan says other techniques, you know, the research is there on TM. It doesn't mean that other techniques don't do that, but the research hasn't been shown to do that. There's so many different techniques out there, but certainly there's so much research. I had to supply research to a doctor the other day because he was giving a talk on meditation, and I just, you know, went in and hadn't looked at it for a while. There's just hundreds of studies on transcendental meditation, just hundreds of them to show its benefits, you know. So maybe we'll do an introductory talk to TM at some stage. Anyway, could you teach TM online? No, you can't teach it online. You have to do it in person. You can do the follow-up on an app now, but the actual instruction has to be done in person, you know. Anyway, I think we're at the end here now. We're gone nearly 9:05. So we're back on again on Thursday. And then on Saturday morning, we're going to have that yoga class. So it spoke about yoga there today as well. So yoga asana postures. So anybody that wants to do that. And if you've never done yoga or you've never had any interest in it, still come on and do it, because this is a very gentle form of yoga we're going to be teaching. And it's very, very beneficial. And it's very good for helping the body to detoxify itself. And it'll just be about an hour-long class, a very simple hour-long class that we'll do on Saturday morning at 11 o'clock. But you have to register for that. And I sent out the link for you to register for that course. We've already had about 350 people register for that. So maybe we'll get up to 500 people, and that'll be a fairly decent-sized yoga class. But anyway, okay. So listen, a huge thank you. Sorry?
Who's doing that?
I am.
Aye, good for you.
Yeah, no, I said I'd do it because a lot of people on the TM group were asking me. I mean, I run them every now and then, and I just said I'd do it, and I put it out to the Ayurveda group as well, you know. So to learn yoga asanas is a really, really good thing to do, you know. And I'll teach a little pranayama as well. And they're simple postures, and they're incredibly beneficial, and they're great for keeping you flexible and keeping the intellect of the body flowing freely. And I mean, Dr. Brennan would be a big fan of asanas, and
I do them all the time.
Yeah, every day, twice a day, you know.
Great for sleep. I do them before going to bed.
Yeah, and if anyone is having trouble sleeping, doing a set of yoga postures at nighttime, this set that I'm going to teach on Saturday morning, really, really good thing to do. But anyway, the link is there. It's in your email that I sent, and I'll send it in the email for the review of this lesson. So I'll stick this lesson up on YouTube tomorrow. I accidentally recorded some of the Karen Pyrrhic video, so I can't put that up on YouTube. As you all know, you have to register to get that separately in the link that I've sent you. But I'll stick the Q&A up on the website tomorrow, and then we'll be back on again. Someone says, when does Noel do his PM group? Every single day, Trevor. At 5:15, I do a group meditation nearly for the last year, a Zoom online meditation for people who have learned transcendental meditation. So if you want to join that, just drop me an email, noel@ayurveda.ie, and I can put you on that list. Okay, so that's fantastic, everybody. A big thank you to the doctors. My God, the amount of information that's flowing out there, and it's just fantastic. And I hope this is inspiring some of you to take a career in Ayurveda, because that's the only way that this is going to grow. You know, we need more and more people to get on and get involved in Ayurveda and recognize it for what it is, and do some training, and, you know, get proper qualifications so that they can go on and start spreading this knowledge more and more and more. And that's really what the world needs. So either become an Ayurvedic doctor or become an organic farmer. They're the two best things you can do, you know. So anyway, listen, thanks a million for coming on. Or a TM teacher, okay, or a meditation teacher. Yeah, they're the three best things you can do.
A yoga teacher.
A yoga teacher. Okay, that's four. What else is Yeah. Anyway, okay, so that's fantastic, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it. And Thursday night, look out for the Zoom link. It'll go out Thursday morning. If you haven't got it by 1 o'clock, drop me an email and I'll send it out to you. Have a great evening. Have a great Wednesday, and we'll speak to you on Thursday. Namaste, everybody. And big thank you to the doctors. And see you soon, everybody. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.